Hey guys, and welcome to day 5 of Chris Chan Week. So we're going to start this episode with reading some of the comments for the Chris Chan movie. Shy Guy 87, I would love to see the movie have scenarios of Chris's life going back and forth between the perspective of Chris, where he views certain people in his life as monsters and villains, and the perspective of everyone else, where they view Chris as complete insane. It's completely insane. Next one. I do something like Sucker Punch the movie. The movie would start at the beginning of the first saga, and basically everything that unfolds, you'd see Chris diving into his imaginary world. That sounds pretty cool though. But the world won't be something he can actually interact with until later on. And the more the movie progresses, the more real Chris's fictional world becomes. And eventually he loses the ability to distinguish the difference between real or fiction, which, I mean, at this point, I'm sure he is at that point. He gets so far in his delusions that now his world can interact with our world. Oh, that would be scary. Only he can see that, ergo the dimensional merge. So this world diving thing happens in and out throughout the movie, and while the audience gets to see all the sagas unfold, and it ends with him going to jail. Except the movie will have an ending where Chris gets sent to the mental health hospital. Then Chris summons one last portal, and this time he tells Magic Hand that he's transferring his soul into C-197 permanently. And then he crosses over, and you see him at his mayor office in Quickville. And all the characters are there waiting for his arrival like the second coming of Christ. The song The Scientist by Coldplay plays as we see characters from Sonic Youth cheer Chris on. That's when the screen goes black, and it cuts to Chris's hands in the real world, dropped like a bottle of medicine, with a bottle of medicine on the floor. End scene. End scene. I tried to do a movie day or a week in the life of Chris. Yeah, I would. Ooh. There was one. Where was it? Honestly, I would just break down the doors of Happy Madison Productions with a couple of pictures and issues of Sonic 2. Absolutely no context, and let them go wild. Finally, a role fitting for Rob Schneider's talent. Yes, it would be terrible, but Happy Madison would be the least likely studio to turn this down. And the crossover potential. Can you imagine an army of portly jerk cops chasing Chris down on segways? And a GameStop pepper spray cameo in Mall Cop 3, of course. I would do an exaggerated biopic with animation on what goes on in his head and what he expects. Only for live action reality to hit him like concrete. When the end ends with his arrest and imply he never gets out of jail. Yeah, there we go. The Child That Never Grew Up, the Chris Chan story. Genre, thriller. Or mystery thriller. Description, months after an incident that caused the incarceration due to allegations of incest, an online journalist is given an opportunity to have an interview with the most documented person on the internet, Chris Chan Weston Chandler. Join Howell, Christopher Walken. Yeah, nice. I love me some Christopher Walken. I think if a movie was made about Chris Chan, I think Christopher Walken would somehow, maybe, perhaps, find a way to be in it as he uncovers bits and pieces of Chris's Jonah Hill. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of you guys that said Jonah Hill, like fat Jonah Hill before he got all cocky and self-absorbed because he became thin, like old Jonah Hill, that he would be really good at playing Chris. I agree. Pieces of Chris's past to find out what made Chris the way he is today and see if he's competent to stand trial on his upcoming court date before it's too late. Will they be able to find out what's wrong? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, I like the casting. Let's see. I would like to see remakes of Chris's crappy Sonichu drawings made into motion animated shorts. Kind of like those Monty Python cutout cartoons. That'd be cool. There's too much Christery to a pack for just a movie. A TV series would be better. A cinematic universe, at least. I started out like Forrest Gump, Chris waiting on a park bench, telling his whole story to every random stranger. James Rolfe should be the narrator, the motherfucking nerd. After the movie, it shows James open mouth, shocked, followed by holy flippin' poop, in his own words. Nicolas Cage as Robert. The Lonely Child. Nicolas Cage is Robert. Winona Ryder is Barb. Logan Paul is Chris. The Lonely Child is a dramedy about Chris learning about the interweb and shenanigans ensue. Where was that other one? Let me try to find it. Title: A Milky Soda experimental dark drama rom-com. That's so gross. But narrator is done by Morgan Freeman. Bob Chandler, Robert De Niro. Yeah. Megan, Emma Watson. Yeah, I can see that. Liquid Chris, Leo DiCaprio. Mary Lee Walsh, Maggie Smith, or Margaret Natalie. I can see that. Narrator Morgan Freeman. Troll in the beginning of the movie, Rob Schneider. So, also this one, I'm not going to read it all, but just have Bob give a FNAF 6 style end speech from Beyond the Grave. So, if you guys know of FNAF 6 Pizza Simulator or Pizzeria Simulator, it's finally the culmination. You know, Henry, pretty much the head honcho of Fazbear Entertainment, manages to get all the animatronics there, and he burns everything down to the ground, along with himself. And then, you know, just when you beat the game, you hear a little like a monologue from Baby, and then he does, you know, you hear connection terminated, and then, you know, Henry starts his thing. But and it cuts away to the Chandler house burning down a second time. I said, "Oh my god!" I laughed to the point of my stomach hurting. I read the entire thing in Henry's voice, though, which made it even funnier. If you want to know, see the reference, just look up FNAF 6 ending. It's like the first freaking thing that pops up. But I thought that was fucking hilarious. Here's my pitch. Not perfect or anything, but it's something. Title: Chris Chan. Genre: thriller tragedy. Cast: Tommy Wiseau as Chris Chan. Yes, I'm serious. A disgruntled young man, mistreated and shunned by society, becomes his own undoing after letting his inner demons get the best of him, ultimately leading him down a path of delusion and false grandeur until he finally snaps back to reality and learns the consequences of his actions. I said, what a story, Mark. Because that basically sounds like the plot of The Room. Or just Tommy Wiseau's life. There was one I was supposed to read. Oh, yeah. Only issue is knowing Hollywood. They won't get a guy that easily to fit the role. If they do, I wonder if the role would weigh on the actor's sanity. Hard to say. I said for diversity reasons, Chris will be played by a non-binary black female who somehow regenerates into another doctor. Paul Giamatti as Chris, hands down. Okay, because they said please read on vid. The Chris Chan movie, mockumentary comedy. The best movie of the sad, sad life of Ian Bright, Brandon Anderson. Based on a true fucking story. Starring Wayne Knight as Chris Chan. 5 stars. Oscar worthy. We got Graham. Same thing. Jonah Hill. You know, I saw a lot of people saying, got 3 Nations right down here. The Tragic Life of Christian Weston Chandler. Cast maybe Jonah Hill as Chris. Yeah. Barb, Meryl Streep. Actually, I could see that. So, wow, that is a long one. But obviously you guys can look through if you want. I just wanted to read some of the ones I like the most. But Jonah Hill seems to be a popular one. But anyways, we're going to watch this. I've already contacted them before. Said you're going to use your video as content for my Chris Chan week. I hope that's okay with you. And they're like, yeah, that's fine, dude. No worries. So, consent. It's real. I tried to record this like twice or 3 times yesterday, and each time something happened. I'd pause and then try to talk. But I find that like the mic wasn't on, so I'd be talking for like 10 minutes with no mic on. It's just one thing after another. So we're gonna watch the whole thing and then break it down. Break it down now, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. It'll make it a lot easier on me. So this is 4chan, X Green Text, Chris Chan's demonic possession. Essentially saying that Chris Chan is in fact possessed by Sonichu. So here we go.
He said he was being stalked, and everyone laughed, said he was the victim of the conspiracy. All kinds of people manipulating him, toying with him, trying to drive him crazy. Posing as would-be friends and lovers, when the whole time they were recording him, photographing him, sharing their insights into his personal life with others. Chris Chan was a targeted individual. The way we see him is how they see us. Sonichu is a demon who possessed his body and basically took over his body completely to the extent that he identified as Sonichu now. Chris is dead, his soul is no longer in that body. Magi Chan suddenly appears in Chris's shitty self-insert comic books with no explanation. Omnipotent, all-powerful.
Alright, so I think we should stop because the music just gets louder and yeah, it's really hard to hear what it's saying. So Magi-Chan is one, of course, one of Chris's spouses. The others being Mewtwo, of course, Sylvana Rose Chu and Krizzle. But of all of them, Magi-Chan is more of the crazier one, like the right hand of Chris, the one that Chris was using to plan motion to eliminate homosexuality. So, which is funny, you know, he's supposed to be trans, which he's not really. He just did it for girls. He's like, oh, I stand with LGBTQ and blah, blah, blah. But he had a thing against homosexuals and trans for the longest time. He has a thing against autistic people. One reason why he didn't want to be with Fiona, despite the fact that he himself is high-functioning autistic, he didn't want to be with Fiona because she had autism. That is a major, you know, pot calling the kettle black. But yeah, Magi-Chan, and which is weird because it's like it's explicitly gay and a sexual deviant, but yet he was using Magi-Chan to, you know, stop homosexuals in the world. And basically, if he didn't like you, if you would end up in his comic either as like a villain or gay. Chris Chan, yeah, he was possessed by Magi-Chan for a little bit. It says Magi-Chan can see everything in the world. Chris makes comics about Magi-Chan turning rivers to blood and is to be obeyed without question. 13-year-old Chris. Now, I'm not going to read all of these. You can, but the IMFS Crystal, which I think he still has, doesn't he? Quickfill, Sonichu, to make medallions. Not only does he have his medallion, of course, he sold off the, I believe he sold off the original, and someone broke it on camera, broke it on video. But he started, like, manufacturing these. He was hoping to make a lot of money off of it, so he had people helping him and manufacturing them, and obviously that didn't go very well. Actually, let me see something. How much I'm sure you can still find them online. Let's see how much they are. I found one here for $666. It is a extremely rare Golden Church of Sonichu medallion. Looks like it has some kind of certificate of authenticity, apparently signed by Chris. I mean, it looks like it's crappy handwriting. Huge. Then we had a little, looks like a Rosie Rose shoe one. But yeah, he started manufacturing them. That didn't work out very well. Yeah, Chris used to put up signs, kind of like advertising, like, oh, I'm looking for a boyfriend-free gal, and blah, blah, blah. He's fucking stupid. Sonichu teaches Chris how to use harmful magic signs, which he uses on his college dean. Mary Lee Walsh was like the overarching villain of Sonichu for a little while, and then he started introducing like Mewtwo and not Mewtwo, but Giovanni and Eggman. But for the most part, like I said, if he didn't like you and he thought you were a jerk, he ended up in the comic as like the villain or gay. So Sonichu tells Chris to draw pornography of him, his only female friend, Megan. And that was, he's sitting there drawing these pictures, which you can find online. But I don't know. It's Chris, so he's probably thinking, she's gonna see these and she's gonna be so wet in her panties for me. And she sees him, she's like, yeah, could you not do that? And then he kept doing it. She's like, I'm gonna head out. She just, she said it's like he just was persistent about it. He wasn't respecting the fact that she said, can you not do that? Tells Chris to drink his own sperm. Yeah, we saw that. I recycle my own semen. Chris refuses to go to church because Sonichu doesn't like it there. Sonichu commands Chris to attack a local manager who said he didn't exist. Yeah, Chris is known for wild and violent outbursts at people. Sometimes the littlest thing will set him off. Let's get to the next part. Yeah, Sonichu tells Chris that he's transgender lesbian now, despite old Chris always being vehemently homo and transphobic. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of homophobic stuff in the comic, and the only reason Chris is transgender when he came out was because he thought it would get him pussy. That was the only reason. He didn't care. He wanted pussy. He thought it would be more attractive to women. Like, oh my god, he's such a sexy stud now that he's identifying as a woman. And look what happened. Nothing. But it's like, okay, well, it's too late to turn back now, so I'm just transgender still. Mace, the employee at GameStop, we saw that. Burnt down his own house. I mean, we did see one of the comments for the story, the movie where he burns his house down for a second time. Chris's father dies shortly afterwards of a heart attack. Unfortunately, he does. Sonichu commands Chris to cut his crotch open with a rusty knife so that he can give birth to Sonichu's child. Chris does some stupid shit. Chris's dog dies, and Sonichu resurrected her for a day so Chris could send her off for good. Yeah, Chris was never good with his animals. Ever. He spent so much fucking money on Legos and My Little Pony and shit he didn't need that I seriously doubt that any of his animals were getting any kind of nutrition they were actually needing. Their house was also like dangerous because they were like hoarders and stuff, so it was extremely dangerous. The animals weren't really being taken care of. It's like, if you're not going to take care of your animals, don't have them. Chris is now completely alone except for his geriatric dementia-ridden mother and Sonichu. Well, after Bob died, obviously, he was the only one taking care of Barb. Oh, he was taking care of her all right with his penis. Chris frequently dreams that Sonichu and him are having sex. That's true. He's said that. Sonichu tells Chris to have sex with his mother. This was in 2016. Chris is reluctant, although he did admit that he was attracted to older women, and that he was attracted to his mother, and that he would dream about or fantasize about having sex with her. Sonichu tells Chris that he is a goddess whose destiny it is to unite unite its world and Sonichu's world, dimensional merge. Yeah, which he keeps pushing the dates. Oh, we're still preparing for it. Chris arrested for his mom. Yeah, obviously the most recent events. Having sex with his mom. Now here's some mind blowers. Putin invaded Ukraine on Chris's 40th birthday. Sonichu is Pikachu plus Sonic. Colors are yellow and blue, the same as the Ukrainian flag. The video where Putin declares he's invading has the whites of the Russian flags in the background, mostly hidden to show only red and blue. The same colors of Chris's iconic shirt. Something wicked this way glows. Mind blowers. Not even Mimi here. Placed in a mental hospital? Not yet. Crazy? Just reading his wikia. It's like traveling inside his mind where every cause for his behavior can be found. In 2002, Sonichu 2, 2006, Sonichu says for no reason to the chaotic combo that he has weird dreams for no reason. Weird dreams where his father, Chris, sees himself in the mirror with long hair. Sonichu 10, 2010, states that in the date of June of 2015, the character Magi-chan would make a cure for homosexuality using Chris's blood, since Chris is supposed to be 100% straight. In the real June of 2015, same-sex marriage was made legal in all states. In 2014, 1 year before the happening, Chris came out of the closet as a defender of the LGBT community, defender, I think, and a transgender who identifies as a lesbian with long hair. I'm a lesbian with long hair. I love women. Anyone want to rub their clit against mine? I'm sorry. It'll lead back to Sonichu. Okay, so now we can actually watch. So the following clips present Chris Chan's potential possession. He already made mention he's able to see and talk to dead people as well as dancing with unseen Sonichu. He also dresses up and acts like Sonichu the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog, as well as Sonichu. So yeah, we're gonna mute and then we'll watch these.
I've met ghosts, so yes.
A little scary.
Oh, you only scared ghosts because you don't have much knowledge about them.
Oh, my mistake.
She dead people. I think the ghosts are coming after me. As long as we don't bother them, they won't bother us. For something completely different. Electric Hedgehog power. Pew! Good day, everyone. It is I, Magic-chan Sonichu. I have taken possession of Christine's body, as we have swapped bodies. Her soul is in my body, as you can see right behind me. On the opposite side of the dimension curtain, you could definitely tell that it is I as opposed to Christine, not only in the vocal tones but also my behavioral patterns. It is quite different being in a human body as opposed to my Sonichu body, especially in the brain. My brain works a lot better. This brain, it needs work. But I am working on it. I am improving.
Chris is such a strange case, but I see what you are getting at. I also seen it hypothesized that Sonichu was a demonic familiar that approached him. What makes it so conflicting is that Chris did absolutely degenerate and reprehensible things yet somehow comes off as blameless and more chaotic neutral than in an evil alignment. What might he have become if he had been born in a different society? There have been those affiliated with or practicing shamanism who claim that it's actually spirits or disincarnate beings attempting to communicate with those they can reach. Yet our society has no holistic concept for that, whereas in a shamanic culture there is an attempt which sometimes goes awry to bring the capabilities and influence that such personages wield into harmony with the needs of the community, and they are seen as an important and integral part of their tribe.
Alright, so they're just going on thought. Be gone, thought. I don't know. I don't know if Yo saying this is pure jest. Surely jest. But I do think there is something magic about Chris and Sonichu. Okay. And cringe shit in general. I think it's something related to viscerality of shame and death. I think Sonichu fits the Hermes thought, Ganesha flash archetype Grant Morrison describes in Pop Magic. He killed his dead. And his mom. He went from male to female. There's something there. Something unusual. Yeah, you don't want to show that. The Life and Lies of Christian Weston Chandler, the movie. But yeah, there was just a part I had to skip because it showed some naked dude, and but with this part, when I first saw it, I was sure that he was gonna get to this part, look at the camera and like fucking scream at it or something. But so he's trying to say he was possessed by Magi-Chan. He's been possessed by Magi-Chan. He's been possessed by Sonichu. I think he was possessed by Mewtwo for a little bit. Rosie Rose Chu, of course. And somehow all of them, when he types, like on it, most of it was on Twitter. Funny how they all pretty much type the exact same way. They all form sentences the exact same way. It's like, huh, it's almost like he's not possessed. But it was always like, oh, it's Sonichu and Mama, Mama Christine's body. Mama's still back in there and with the higher Pokemon and blah, 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 and all this stupid shit. Watch out for the dimensional merge. And then I think Mewtwo came in once. He was like, oh, you all better stop making fun of Christine and blah, blah, blah. She's a goddess. And we're like, Mewtwo, you don't really care. Stop it. Stop it. Then you have, like I said, Sylvana, Roschu, and Grizzle being the other spouses. You don't hear too much about them. It's mostly Magi-Chan because Magi-Chan's the crazy one. You would think Mewtwo would be the crazy one. But no, Mewtwo's like regular Mewtwo. He's kind of there. You know? Don't you upset Christine. She's a goddess and she can smite you right there if she wants to. You need to believe me because I'm Mewtwo. But I mean, I was going to do this yesterday with the creepypasta stuff, but since it was giving me so many issues, I just like, fuck it. Obviously, he's not possessed by a demon. Sonichu doesn't exist. It's never going to exist. The dimensional merge doesn't exist. Magi-Chan doesn't exist. Chris is just a super fucking stupid, crazy person who tries to justify everything he does by saying, "Oh, I'm Jesus reincarnated," or I'm autistic and I can't control it." That's all it is. That's all it is. So, I guess you could say great read, but I mean, all it did was break down events in his life and just say Sonichu made him do it, or Magi-Chan made him do it. But that was it. 3 attempts yesterday just for this. Anyways, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.